So the Royal Rumble happened yesterday, and I have my buddy on the line, and we're just going to talk about it. He is quite mad regarding the Women's Royal Rumble. And I think this is probably the only contentious one we're going to have, because how do you feel about the Men's Royal Rumble?
Oh, I was completely fine with that.
Okay, so let's start off with the Women's one.
Dude, man,
Yeah, we might as well talk about Charlotte Flair winning.
she didn't need it. It's
I'll
Charlotte
let you
Flair.
talk first, because...
Okay, number one, it's Charlotte Flair. Like, one, we knew she was coming. Like, that was that was announced and everything. So it was just like, okay, but like Charlotte Flair, like with everything that she's done already with women's wrestling and whatnot, it's Charlotte Flair. She didn't need it. Like, they could have put somebody else in that spot, but I don't know. It was the minute she came out, and she had the only one who came out had a big flashy entrance, pyrotechnics. You knew who it was going to. It was just heavily. I just disappointed.
I will say, I think they did a good job of possibly setting up Roxanne to win this. Like, when it came down to like her, Nia, and Charlotte, I was just like, there's a good chance Roxanne could win this, and I would be down for that, obviously. Because apparently she is on the main roster now. I saw an interview she did afterwards where she was like, yeah, I'm gonna be on the main roster.
Yeah, I honestly would have taken anybody else out of the three. I think I would have taken Roxanne over Charlotte and Nia.
Really? You would have been okay with Nia winning over Charlotte?
Honestly, I think Charlotte winning over Nia is better. But I think Roxanne winning overall would have been the best choice because, like, number one, again, I'm gonna keep saying it. I don't think Charlotte Flair needed the win because she could literally get whatever match she fucking wanted. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
she could walk in there and sneeze and have a Royal Rumble match, like, or a Royal Rumble match, WrestleMania match. She can have literally whatever she.
Except for a main event of WrestleMania. That's got to go to the Usos.
Yeah. But with that being said, I also really don't want to see her, like, now that she is the winner, who's she gonna pick?
It's probably Tiffany. I don't think they're gonna run back Rhea.
Yeah,
they would have to do a lot to do better than what they did.
Yeah.
At 39.
Like, I'm sure they'd find a way to tear the house down like usual. But like, nah, I think the only good thing that comes out of this is if Charlotte Flair takes on Tiffany Stratton and pushes her to the moon. I think
that's what I speculate too, is that Charlotte is going to take on Tiffany, and that's what we'll get. And I see people speculating, do you think she would beat Tiffany? That's what I want to ask you. Do you think she would beat her?
I don't know, because again, it's the one issue that I have with Charlotte Flair is the fact that she can have whatever she wants. So if she wants the belt, like, they're gonna run it that way. You know what I mean? It's a matter of, like, is she willing to take that step back and let the young gun have it? You know what I mean? Is she willing to be the one to?
I think she will. I don't think, like, when it's come to like people's problems with Charlotte, I don't think any of them have really been that she squashes new talent.
That is true.
Like, she doesn't. I think she's like, I see people really compare her to like the female Brock Lesnar, but like Charlotte's put over a bunch of people, just not like in a big bombastic way, but she like did it with Rhea. And like, we can argue about like 36 and what happened there, but I think that's a lot more of a Charlotte under Vince and a Charlotte under Triple H.
Yeah,
I think people attribute a lot of our negative aspects to what Vince's booking was.
Yeah, honest, I can agree with that.
Because under Triple H, I mean, she's been out injured for a good portion of it, but like, she helped put over a lot of new talent. She didn't really win that many titles. Like, when she came back, she beat Ronda, but nobody complained about that.
Yeah, I like I said, I really do think Charlotte versus Tiffany is the best route, and
I can definitely see like a passing of the torch in that. I don't think like Charlotte's not like a Hulk Hogan where she's like, that's not gonna work for me, brother. Yeah, I mean, we're under the reign right now where at least seemingly Becky and Charlotte like bury the hatchet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I really hope that she puts over Tiffany.
Yeah, I think that's the route they're gonna go.
Which I think will probably be a pretty good match.
Oh, yeah.
But I definitely think that
I just hope her new knee holds up.
Yeah, see if she can even make it.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, how did you feel about the Rumble overall, the Women's Rumble?
Oh, dude. Okay. This is another issue with Nia. Up until Nia came in, I think this is personally my favorite women's rumbles.
Really?
Dude, the things that they were building to, the feats of strength that were being shown, the NXT roster, women's roster being focused on, fucking huge.
Yeah.
I think that was some of the best work in I sitting here, I was flabbergasted by some of the shit that I was seeing, and I was just like, this is the greatest women's rumble match I've watched yet. Like this is amazing.
I gotta heavily disagree with that. I feel like this was it wasn't bad. It was just pretty good, and I think it's because it felt like there was a lack of storytelling in this match. And like there were definitely good moments, but it didn't feel like as important as it probably should have.
Right.
And I think that just has to come down to how the women's division has been booked. I will say I agree with like the NXT selection, except for one person. I don't think Jada Parker really needed to be in this. I think it's and here's the thing, there's obviously like that whole situation with her, like the stir she calls on Twitter.
Right.
And that definitely plays into a factor of it because like there has been no repercussions for that. But at the same time, I think it is a little bit too soon to be like, yeah, we're gonna have you like paired up with like these main roster people and have this spot with like Bianca and Naomi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It felt like more like this was someone that they wanted to see instead of being like, I don't know, like this would have been a great spot for like a Jade return.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, like Cora. You could have had Kalani Jordan. I think she would have done better in this spot. Like all Jada did was like her, butt attacks and then her little taunt, and that was it. And then she gets thrown out. I will say Chelsea Green was hilarious in this match.
Oh man,
like that spot where she gets in the middle of all of them, and they're just like, one of these things doesn't belong here, and they just start beating on her.
That was so fun. That was Chelsea Green was a highlight in that Rumble. Oh my god.
But what did you think of, I don't know, what did you think of Jade not returning?
Honestly, I was surprised.
Yeah, because like this storyline with like who attacked her, there's no middle part of it right now. There's the attack, some speculation, and that they mention it every now and again, but there hasn't been like the women's tag team division isn't focused on a story of who attacked Jade. It's just we're just fighting each other now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Despite the fact that that should be the story, and the fact that she doesn't show up here, probably the biggest place she could make her return going into WrestleMania. Are they even gonna finish this before WrestleMania?
Yeah, I hope so. But it would have been nice to. Yeah, it would have been nice to see her come back here.
Yeah, like if she would have returned, I think she would have been, because in all honesty, I've seen some people say like, oh, Io could have won. I feel like Charlotte was the only one who actually like made sense outside of like maybe Roxanne.
Yeah.
And that's only really because like it would have been a surprise to see someone from NXT win it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Jade winning it would have been like, okay, that makes sense. You could have had her face Rhea. It's her big return. And then building up to Mania, she feuds with Bianca or Naomi, whoever attacked her.
Yep. And it would have been it's good.
Or you could have like, do a heel turn twist and be like, no, Rhea attacked her so that she could get into the War Games match.
Yeah, that'd be another good way to take it.
How did you feel about Jordynne Grace?
Oh, dude,
she tried to make it seem like she wasn't gonna show up.
Yeah,
she was like, no, I'm spending this time with my mom, and I was like, nope.
Dude, that was so funny.
Such a great showing.
Oh my god, dude.
Ted fucking picking up Piper Niven.
Oh, I sat there in awe, and I'm like, oh my god, Jordynne Grace is a monster, man.
Yeah, and I think this just showcased that she's like gonna be on the main roster now. I don't think they're gonna put her in NXT.
Yeah, I kind of really hope that's what happens.
Yeah.
But even if she does go to NXT, like
I'm not gonna play.
rise. Yeah. She's gonna rise through there so fast.
But that's the thing, is that like with Julia, that's like, it's the only negative thing about like Julia and Stephanie being there is like you already have these people here. So like at what point is it just like, okay, we got too many like star-studded up-and-comers coming up, we might as well put one of them on the main roster.
Yeah.
Like Julia is the women's champion now. Stephanie is gonna be the North American champion. It's gonna be a situation of just like, okay, we're gonna have everyone run through her, but not everyone can win gold. Where does Jordynne Grace fit in that? Because she has to win gold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about Alexa Bliss?
Oh, dude, I was so happy.
Me too. I don't get the hate on Alexa Bliss. Do I think she's like one of the best wrestlers in the world? No, but she's not as terrible as a lot of people like to make her seem like.
Her music hit, and I saw her name flash across the Titantron, and I was like, they lied.
Oh yeah,
She wasn't supposed to come back. I
everyone
was
was
ready
clowning on the
for.
dirt sheets for that because they were saying that she wasn't going to return.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it was
was like,
mostly Dave Meltzer.
yeah, I was like, man, I am so surprised
Hmm.
because I had seen that like there was like, oh yeah, she's coming back, and there was no, she's not, and I'm like, I mean, okay, that's fair. Like,
Yeah.
maybe they're gonna push it back to like WrestleMania, and she's gonna come out and do something. And nope, Royal Rumble, and I'm like,
There was
never
news that she
mind.
was going to return on Raw. Like that
Yeah,
originally she was planning on to return on Raw, but now they pushed it back to Royal Rumble, which is like that's probably the best option. I don't even think that news on she was gonna show up on Raw was even real. It's like why
yeah.
wouldn't you save this for a Royal Rumble spot?
Yeah, but I was very pleased coming out. She came out dressed in her fiend outfit, and I was like,
Hmm.
yes.
Do you think she's gonna become part of Wyatt Six? Because I feel like with her presentation, it's more like, no, it's just kind of it's Alexa Bliss, but she still has the doll.
There's a part of me that like hopes
That she's
you
part of the
know,
Wyatt Six.
that she like becomes a part of the Wyatt Six. But at
It
the
would be
same
cool.
time, even if she doesn't, like, I wouldn't be upset about it either.
It seems like I don't know, based on the like elimination, like she got eliminated by Liv and Raquel. She could feud with Liv going into it. Maybe they have her team back up with Nikki, run that tag team a bit, and then going into Mania.
Yeah,
It does make me curious though. Like we don't know where she's gonna go after this. There's always the transfer window, so like the brand split doesn't really matter right now until they do the draft again. So like this could happen. She could just go to Raw, but still team up with Nikki. I just hope they do something with the Wyatt Six soon.
yeah,
It's been a little too long.
yeah. I'm hoping we get some big stuff from them, and they start like.
Hmm.
I feel like they should have like a quote unquote like hit list.
Yeah,
Like obviously like they were targeting people in the beginning, but like I think what would be fun is if they started like targeting people Bray was going after before.
yeah, but that's the thing is like who on SmackDown would fit that? Like they should probably
Yeah.
do it with the Bloodline, honestly.
Yeah, I them going after the bloodline would be I think a pretty good feud.
Yeah, you could also like Braun Strowman is feuding with Jacob Fatu now. You could get him involved with that with Wyatt stuff.
Yeah.
So we got two Hall of Famers who showed up in the Rumble too. We had Trish Stratus, who I would have to rewatch it back. I think her theme got death rumbled. It didn't sound like the original theme, but maybe that was just me. And we got the number 30 spot, someone who I thought was gonna be like either Jade or Becky. It turned out to be Nikki Bella.
There's obviously a lot of mixed feelings for
Yeah.
Nikki Bella.
I saw people throwing fits being like, oh, it's not AJ Lee. I was like, it's never gonna be AJ Lee.
It's never
AJ Lee, if she wanted to go back to pro wrestling, she would have done it by now. She probably would have showed up before Punk came back.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely.
Like Punk had a reason to be like, I don't want to go back to pro wrestling. I lost,
Yeah.
this thing that I love. Like my love for it is just gone. But with AJ Lee, like I think she's even said herself, she was like, I just, I kind of got tired being in the middle of the Punk WWE stuff, and also like I just felt like I did everything I wanted to do. And also she got injured.
Yeah.
Like if she wanted to come back by now, she probably would.
Maybe one day.
We'll see. Maybe it could be a one-off,
Yeah.
like maybe her versus Bailey or her versus Roxanne.
Yeah.
But how
That'd
did you
be
feel
pretty
about
good.
the Nikki Bella in of itself?
I think it would have been better if she would have came back before, if she would have come out before Alexa.
Yeah,
I think if they would have flip flop.
Oh yeah, because she got a big pop when she returned.
Yeah.
People were going crazy. I think it would have been better. It's more than that. I'm just like it serves the purpose of what the number 30 should be, where it's either like it's this final nail on the entrance of who's coming in, and it's a surprise in some factor. Like I don't think people were expecting Nikki Bella to really show up.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never expect any of the Bella show up after everything.
I mean, it's definitely better than Logan Paul coming out at number 30.
God,
that felt like I honestly forgot he was even supposed to be in the Rumble.
So did I, and then his music hit and he walked out, and I went,
"Hey yo!" For some reason, he's the only one who like has a classic Titantron look too.
Yeah,
I hate that. But we might as well move on to the in between matches. Did you watch the 2 out of 3 falls match?
Sure did.
How did you feel about it?
I thought it was pretty good. I definitely did not expect that ending.
Yeah, me neither. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a Motor City Machine This is gonna be a Machine Guns win, right?
Yep, that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I was
Yeah.
gonna. Don't get me wrong. I love my DIY.
We are.
I've been a big DIY fan ever since
Mm-hmm.
NXT.
Yeah, we got some
But
classic DIY with this.
oh yeah, I think some of the spots in that match were good,
Mm-hmm.
like them moving out of the way and Johnny kicking
Oh yeah, they did the
Ciampa
Fraxium
and
spot.
yep.
I saw that too. After the match, Fraxium was just like, "Oh, the classic kick your opponent on accident, kick your partner on accident technique. I know it very well." But yeah,
But
it was a pretty good match. I was definitely surprised with the Street Profits showing up too. I don't think anyone was
yeah,
expecting that, but it seems like they are going back to like the heel sort of role, heel face, both. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I definitely was I was a little shocked to see Motor Shitter.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see them lose.
Like even if they showed up at the end, you would have figured it would be after a Machine Guns win.
Yeah,
But no, they came out swinging for everyone.
the they helped DIY win and then turn around and beat up DIY.
Yeah, that was the thing too. Like I saw people being like, "Oh, like are they just full on heels?" And I was like, "Well, they attacked DIY because they attacked them." So I think it's like an in betweener situation where they're just like, "No, we're just gonna do whatever we can to win the titles.
Yeah,
Like, we're not
just a
friends with
matter of
anyone."
yeah. Now it's a matter of how are they going to take it? Are
Yeah.
we going to see an attempt at
We'll probably get
heel
like
Street
a
Profits again?
we'll probably get like a 3-way match at Mania. Street Profits, Machine Guns, DIY. Maybe they'll throw in like Los Guerreros and Pretty Deadly to fill it out, like multi-team.
man.
I don't know because like what are they gonna do after this?
Honest, I don't know.
Like they've been featured pretty great with this tag team division. So like I
Yeah.
hope they at least have some plan for them.
Oh, you can only hope.
Speaking of hope, let's hope that Kevin Owens isn't fucking dead. Because
Dude,
that match, that took a while to get going, but fucking when they hit those spots, I was just like, they're dying after this. Like they're gonna go backstage and they're just gonna pass out because their life force is up.
dude, that
Oh my god. Like when fucking, I mean, first off, you never superplex Kevin Owens.
yeah,
But dude took himself out with that.
dude,
He fucking hit him. He JD'd himself.
he really did.
Dude.
But
Like I'm gonna be honest, I would be surprised if he is even able to wrestle at Mania. If he's even able to stand at Mania.
dude, oh my god, that match was once it got going. That match got brutal.
Yeah.
That-
I remember going into it. I'm pretty sure I even told you like this has the possibility of being like an amazing ladder match. And I feel like I was very much right in that sense, but I didn't think it was gonna be like this.
Dude, I didn't either.
Like that Alabama slam through the ladder, his fucking head getting stuck through the rungs.
Oh man, and then him just sitting there
Oh
like
my
that.
god.
Like holy crap, dude!
I was
Like,
surprised
even
that Sammy never really truly got involved throughout the entire match.
I was shocked too.
Like he didn't stop Cody from going up. He didn't like. I thought he was at least gonna stop Kevin from doing the package pile driver.
Oh man, that yeah. Even there was a lot. There was a lot in that match. The power bomb that he did. That
Oh my
sent
god,
Cody
yeah.
basically motionless over in the corner.
Yeah, fucking. He didn't even go through it. It's like he like scraped it, which I feel like would be so much worse.
Yeah, because
Ugh.
friggin'
They had a fun sequence in the beginning that almost feels kind of forgotten now, where they like just fought in the crowd and they threw a beer at each other.
oh my god, yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's the same thing with the Royal Rumble too. Is that like stuff got so good at the ending that you don't even remember like the good spots they did at the beginning.
Yeah, because it was just slow in the
Yeah,
beginning.
with the mini ladder,
the
the Hornswoggle ladder.
Hornswoggle ladder.
Yeah, they're reviving WLC.
Oh god.
But yeah, fucking. I've seen some people speculate that Cody's gonna turn heel after this. But like, this is what he was saying at the beginning. Like, he was like, "I'm gonna destroy you."
Yeah.
So, but like, with Jay now going after Gunther, which is confirmed, it's Jay versus Gunther at Mania. Do you think, like, if Cena wins the Chamber, that Cody's gonna turn heel for his feud with him?
He might.
Or do you think there's a possibility that Orton returns as Viper? I don't know. This is a tough one. I don't see Cody turning heel.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to see Cody ever be heel. Like,
I could see it if they did well, if like they went the route of him versus Jay, just so they could add some flavor into that. But like this is really just comeuppance with Kevin.
yeah, it really is.
Like he's been taking people out left and right, doing pile drivers. It is sort of effective. Like if he can take it this far, I'm gonna take it this far too.
Yeah, if he can do it, why
I think it will definitely cause tension with Sammy, but I think that's just gonna more or less play into the him versus Kevin storyline that they're going into with Mania.
Yeah.
I thought Kevin was gonna at least come out during the Rumble and help eliminate him, but I feel like we're probably not gonna see him until Elimination Chamber. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they kept Kevin off of TV and then like Sammy enters the Elimination Chamber and does like a AJ Styles from last year. He comes in and eliminates him.
Oh.
Speaking of AJ Styles, we might as well talk about the Rumble. He came out probably like the only surprise return.
Yeah.
Original theme is back.
Yeah, it is.
No, you don't want none.
I was pretty pleased.
Oh, something I didn't mention earlier about the Women's Rumble. Apparently, Nia has now set the record for most eliminations with that big one she did.
Okay.
With 9.
That was the spot that I had an issue with because of the people that she eliminated.
I didn't think it was bad, but I think that was mostly due to the fact that they got rid of a lot of the mid-card people early. So it's like, if you want to do this big elimination, then you probably shouldn't have put out your like mid-card people beforehand, so that only like the big names were going to get thrown out during that.
Yeah, I like I said, I think literally because of the people, like some of the people that she like eliminated, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she eliminated
and
Io, Liv, Bianca,
Naomi,
Zelina,
yep,
Stephanie, Trish, and Raquel, and Nikki.
I think in her big was, I think 6-person elimination that she did, where she like eliminated 6 at once, right?
Yeah.
I think with the list of people that they eliminated, I think they could have done that a little bit better, because like I said, like she eliminated Stephanie Vaquer in that.
Yeah.
And Raquel Rodriguez, like Bianca, Io, like.
But again, I think this was more of a problem with the Rumble, is that this Rumble went on a little too long. If like they were gonna get rid of some of these people, they had to do it like very quickly.
Yeah.
They needed to pace it out a lot better than what they did.
Yeah.
But also apparently, Io, Liv, and Roxanne have beat the record for longest time, with Roxanne being the longest. So Io was there for like an hour and 6. I think the longest was an hour and 3 with Bailey last year.
Yeah.
Liv was an hour and 7 minutes, and then Roxanne was an hour and 7 minutes and 47 seconds.
Cool.
So Roxanne is a Royal Rumble records setter right now.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
Then we have the men's Royal Rumble, which started out with like a great pairing.
Oh man.
Rey versus Penta. There was that scary spot where Penta almost
where he almost went out.
I do think it was only 1 foot. Like, I remember seeing it, and even if it wasn't, I'm not gonna check it. But yeah, he had a really cool spot. I'm pretty sure it was 1 foot.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely 1 foot.
I think it was more the camera angle made it look like both hit. But yeah, they had a great spot too. I've always been a fan of Penta. Rey's one of my favorites, so I was just really giddy just starting the Rumble.
Dude, Rey came out and I was like, hell yeah, good number 1 entrant, man. Like Rey Mysterio, the Giant Slayer, like. Come on, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with Rey, man.
And then freaking Penta came out, and I was like, "This is an opening match, Royal Rumble."
Dude, speaking of Penta,
this is so good.
What a great showcase! He teamed up with Roman Reigns.
That was so good.
Penta teamed up with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was helping him out.
That was something I did not expect.
Who would?
And I was so happy for it, watching him just lift him up. And then him come down and drop kick. Like, man, that was awesome.
Okay, do yourself a favor. Put your mind back to 2020. Roman Reigns, this year, 2020. Roman Reigns is the big dog. Penta's in AEW.
Dude.
Imagine telling yourself, hey, in 5 years, this guy who is being forced to eat dog food is going to team up with one of the greatest luchadors in the Royal Rumble. And they're extremely over with the WWE crowd. Both of them.
And I would sit there and tell you, you're crazy.
You're taking some crack cocaine.
That was probably one of my like favorite spots in the Rumble. That was so good.
Chad Gable also came out after that, continuing the lucha stuff.
Yep.
I was surprised we didn't get like a return with Aleister Black, but I feel like that's coming later, because they even said that Chad has not gone to whoever this like mystery person is.
I wonder if they're gonna do it at the Chamber, maybe.
They might do it at the Chamber. They might just do it at like some random show building up to Mania.
Or they might just do it at Mania.
Carmelo did not have a good showing in this.
Dude,
first person eliminated, no eliminations.
Yeah, he came out swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But
he
like
came
everyone
out,
does.
yeah, and like don't get me wrong, it's just he came out, did some fun stuff, and then next thing I know, he's gone.
Yeah, taken out by the big dog.
Yeah, like he literally got no eliminations, none of it.
We got Aisha Speed in this.
Man,
Probably the best thing you could do with a celebrity spot, though. He comes in, he does eliminate Otis, but he gets it with like the help of Braun.
dude, watching
Yeah,
like
that
I show
spear.
Speed stand there,
Yeah,
and then you see in the background, you just see Braun from
hitting the
one
ropes.
side to the other, and then next thing you know, Aisha's getting fuck hackled, man.
And
What a brutal spear.
speaking of my boy, tied with the most eliminations out of this entire match with Jacob and Roman, we gotta talk about my dog. We gotta talk about the Steiner. We gotta talk about Braun Breaker. Dude, if he's not a Mania main eventer by next year, what are we doing?
What a showing for Braun. Like he's done some shit, but my god.
He immediately like eliminates Carmelo, Santos, breaks Speed in half, and spears Roman.
Dude.
When I saw that, man, I was howling. I felt like a proud papa.
I wasn't a big Braun Breaker believer before.
Oh, I was.
But my god, am I one now?
Dude, you can't make me hate a Steiner. That's the thing. I can't hate Scott. I can't hate Scott, and I can't hate Mini Scott right here. I feel like a proud father, just being like, yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Like, I freaked out when he speared Roman.
Oh, yeah,
I was
dude.
lost. I was just staring at the screen in disbelief.
Oh, dude, it was just phenomenal.
He also had Jacob Fatu also had a great showing.
Oh yeah,
really great showing. I'm surprised they brought Braun back already, like Strowman.
Yeah, that was.
But like, if they go forth with this, like, I'm still not gonna be mad. I just hope they add a stipulation to their match next.
Mm-hmm.
Like last man standing type shit.
Now, okay, we've got to talk about the greatest man in the room.
Who?
Why, the one and only Joe Hendry.
I was gonna get to that, son of a bitch. I thought you were gonna say Ludwig Kaiser in his spot.
Oh, dude, that was so funny.
Where he was just standing on the outside, just waiting for his moment, and as soon as he gets it, Penta just eliminates him.
As soon as he gets it, he just hops in and he's out.
Yep.
I laughed so hard. I was like, that's what you get for being cocky, motherfucker.
You Euro. You cocky Euro man.
That's what you get.
But yeah, obviously we gotta talk about, the guy that everyone was surprised to see in this Rumble, The Miz. Doing his lucha spots, as only Miz does.
Yep.
But, of course, we gotta talk about Joe Hendry, I guess.
Dude, you guess. It's Joe Hendry. I don't
believe in Joe Hendry.
How dare
He's like Santa Claus. I don't believe him, therefore he doesn't exist.
Joe Hendry is the...
Yeah, and he's TNA World Champ.
Exactly.
Okay. Before we really get into this, though, so you've heard the discourse of like Perk Angle, right?
Yeah.
I think I've told you this before. I don't think we should rename him to Peak Angle. It should be TN Angle. There we go. It's TN Angle. This is the best line of work he's done.
That would be.
It also doesn't make it sound like he's perfect when he's like on drugs. When he's like in a really tough spot. Yeah, your best work is when you are suffering. That's peak. But yeah, obviously Joe Hendry is just like a great surprise. Great showing,
dude.
too.
Oh yeah, dude.
I wish he got like a elimination, but like can you really like argue with like the great spot he was given? He got a spot with Roman Reigns. They did moves.
They did. They really did.
Insane. I wish Drew had a better showing.
Yeah.
Like, they've been doing this bloodline hunter stuff with him. There's reports that apparently he was, like, pissed in the back, but I think that's just a work. I don't think that's real.
Yeah, I seen a lot of the stuff saying that, like, he went back to throwing a fit about somebody needing to
do their moves. I think it's just, like, generic bullshit, though. Like, that just sounds like it could be anyone, like, who really fits into that spot. Like, he got eliminated by Damian. I don't really see how that has to correlate, with his elimination and, like, people needing to get their moves in. I wouldn't be surprised if that's just something that was like fed to journalists to like carry the story more.
Yeah.
But do you think that he could be added because he, feuding with Roman, feuds with Punk, feuds with Rollins? Do you think he gets involved with this?
He just might.
I think I don't know.
I think I would love nothing more than them to go back to how he was acting during the CM Punk stuff.
Yeah.
And like him trying to get himself involved with everything again, doing that.
He's kind of gone back to where he was last year, where he was just like, he wasn't like a straight up villain. He was just more of a troll.
Yeah.
But I feel like by adding him into this with like Seth and Punk and Roman, like this has every right to be like a WrestleMania main event with like nothing on the line.
Oh yeah, just a good match.
Yeah, I will say though, we need to talk about an injustice done. We were not able to see the power of Tozawa. We got a cool spot with it with Speed, but no power of Tozawa.
Yeah.
Maybe he should be in this match instead of Drew. Have Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and then the GOAT, Akira Tozawa.
Yeah. Jesus.
But like, I don't know where they could go with this. Like with CM Punk's favor too. I saw some people say that like the favor, but it's mostly been people who are mad about Jay winning. They're just like, oh, they should do this favor, have it be like what The Rock did, where he just comes in and takes the spot from it. Just like, but CM Punk's obviously supposed to be a face.
Yeah.
I don't think the crowd's gonna get over with that.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think Jay's gonna take it all the way.
Yeah, I could see the favor being. I could see the favor being that his match with Roman and Seth is the main event.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Or like I don't know, or that like I don't know, Paul helps him win.
Yeah, he pulls his favor and makes Paul Heyman help him.
Yeah, he's just like they have their Mania match, and Punk is just like now, he does the plan B.
Yep.
But like that ending sequence, like Roman trying to like the Seth Roman sequence too, like in the ring.
Oh man.
Like when they had that stare off, like that camera angle where like Roman was staring at him and Seth could just feel him behind him.
Uh-huh.
And then they started fingering each other.
Yeah. Don't you finger me.
They're like brothers. They're like little brothers.
That was good.
Yeah, it was great. They had like a mini match in the middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Try to eliminate each other, and the CM Punk just comes in and ruins it, screwing over the Shield again. But then Logan Paul eliminates CM Punk.
Man, I did not see CM Punk getting eliminated.
I don't think anybody did. I was literally like screaming at my screen when they came down to like the final 6. I was like, you should all just team up and beat up Logan and throw him out.
I was like, get him out.
Because nobody in this ring likes him. It should be like that. I had the same thing with Dominic Mysterio, is that everyone should have just realized, oh, it's him. He's in the middle of the ring. We should just all team up and beat on him.
Dude, he'll never, how dare he try to pull a Rumble save spot.
I almost forgot that spot existed because it's been done before to death. He's not Kofi, he's not Naomi.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets eliminated by Cena. And then we have let's go back to like the Roman Seth Punk stuff, because the stuff they did after they got eliminated.
Dude.
Seth Rollins killed him.
Dude.
He killed Roman.
Seth went in on him, man.
He did a double stomp right on his head. I wouldn't be surprised if he legitimately knocked him out.
That was an insane spot, dude.
Also, like Punk getting into the face of Paul afterwards, and that great shot of Seth flipping him off.
Yeah. It's
just like, that's the thing with like this favor storyline that they're going with. Like, where could they really go with this? Like, if Punk is now pissed off of Paul, I saw some people be like, oh, he's gonna throw the favor away. But like, why would he? Because like, even if Punk is mad at Paul, why would he throw away a favor that he's owed?
Right.
But like, it's very interesting to see where they could go with this.
Yeah, I really don't know how he's gonna use that favor.
Yeah.
But he's gonna use Van.
But then obviously we have the winner and the longest I don't know how many minutes it was. Like probably the longest sequence I felt like we've gotten with the Rumble so far of just like who's gonna go out. Is it gonna be Jay or John?
Yeah.
I was so sure. I was just like, okay, they're just doing this to give Jay a bit of the rub with Cena, but Cena's gonna win.
Yo.
Nobody saw Jay winning.
I did not see Jay winning at all, because I thought they were really gonna give it to Cena.
Yep.
And then Cena was gonna, go for his belt. Like we've talked about before. Their final run, they're gonna let him break the record and everything.
I mean, there's still an option now. He said he's gonna be at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. So my dream for him to break the record is still alive, but it goes away if he loses that chamber.
The thing is like with this, I feel like it obviously shows that the whole promo he did on Netflix was a lie.
Right.
Where he was just like, no, I'm taking that number 17 spot, but like you can tell he's still like, but if I can give a shot to like someone else.
Right.
I'm gonna give it. Like, that's the thing is, like, they're definitely playing this up because they want to create interest with Cena of him being like, no, I'm going after that 11th.
Yep.
But that's the thing is that I think there's no way he's gonna hit that because he's almost a little too selfish, at least like now in his career.
Yeah.
Like, he realizes where he is. You know, he's not coming in to pull a Rock or like a Rock or the Lesnar move.
Yep.
To be like, even though I've lost a bunch in the last 5 years, I'm still gonna come in and be the main event guy.
I'm still going to be the face of the company that I've always been.
And the thing that I've seen people, I mean, we might as well talk about people's complaints with this. The biggest complaint I've seen is like, oh, this was a star-studded Royal Rumble, which it was.
Oh yeah.
But then you have Jay win.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, do you not believe that, like, that the fans and that the company see Jay as on that level now?
Honestly, I do. I think Jay's been at I think Jay's been at that level for some time now.
Yeah, he's incredibly over. He's had multiple title matches. He's been a singles champion now.
Yep.
There's a reason why they gave him his own entrance at War Games.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he gets this big presentation, because he's over. It's not like with Cena where they changed his presentation to be more suitable for a wider audience and people rejected him and then still went with that. Even though it is like very corporately pushed, Jay's still over with people. And I think that's a big problem people don't seem to be able to sit with. It's like, you can like something that is corporately pushed, but I think some people are just so inherently against that.
Yeah.
And like, I understand, like, you know, I'm not exactly a big fan of capitalism, but like, but like at the same time, it's just like, if I'm giving something good, then it's something good.
Yeah, Jay Uso is definitely something.
He's something good. He's something you don't get a lot. And there has been a fair amount of criticism I've seen, at least in regards to like the situation with LA Knight. Like, why wasn't LA Knight pushed to this extent if he was just as over as Jay? But I think, in my opinion, this is how I see it. It's very situational.
Yeah.
When LA Knight was as over as he was, there was a new world title established with the World Heavyweight Championship that had every right to be Seth's, especially with like the years he had before that, like the years in between where he wasn't a world champion. And then Cody was obviously being built up to take on Roman and beat him. And I feel like if LA Knight was the one who beat Roman in that historic reign, it wouldn't mean that much.
Yeah.
Like, it would mean a lot for LA Knight, but it would make the reign almost seem a little bit dullard.
Yeah.
Especially with the build up with Cody before he really, like, before LA Knight really took off.
Yeah.
Like, people were already really behind Cody before LA Knight really got his big, like, showcase.
And besides, Cody had to finish the story.
He had to finish the story. People hijacked WWE TV and their social media so that he could finish his story. They turned on the biggest person in the world, the biggest celebrity. Everyone knows who The Rock is.
Yep.
And they were just like, you're coming back for a dream match that a lot of people just want to see, even if it's not going to make great, just for the spectacle of it. And we don't want it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's insane. I don't know. I feel like this is also a big thing between like people on Twitter and like, you know, the average person, because if you went on TikTok, you know, which everyone uses, everything you see about the Jey Uso win, shit, I get it. Like, every single like wrestling TikToker I've seen is just like, they're not mad, they're surprised. Yeah. But even if it wasn't like that's who they wanted to win, they were still like, I get it.
Yeah, Jay's probably one of the biggest superstars right now.
Yeah, like I feel like that's such a disconnect with like the online fan base though. Is like they can't understand like that most people want this.
Yeah. And
I've seen some people like there's been news going around like the videos of Charlotte and Jay winning the Rumble have been heavily disliked, and it's just like I mean like the Rock one, like I feel like they're trying to compare it with like the Rock coming out and saying he's going to challenge Roman. Yeah. But I feel like with this one the numbers aren't big enough. It could literally just be people, you know, just spamming like a certain amount of people. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't see this being as big a deal as it is. Like, this is something that as long as they have a good storyline going into it, people are going to roll with it, and I feel like Gunther and Jay is like the best option.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They had a pretty good match at Saturday Night's main event. Like, if you put them in a Mania spot, they're probably just gonna do better.
Oh yeah. I'm excited to see Jay versus Gunther again, but I'm excited to see Jay walk away with the belt.
And I feel like with his Rumble, you could definitely tell like he's still he's working on his moveset. Him and Jimmy both.
Oh dude, yeah.
Like, they're trying to differentiate. Like, he hit a Poison Rana.
Dude, I know. Oh my god.
But
like I'm glad that they're sticking to the guns of like, yeah, we're family again, we're together again, but we're not the Usos.
Yeah, we're not the same guys.
we're not the same guys.
I like how Jimmy has adopted the whisper in the wind.
Oh man, dude, when he hit that,
he hit that at War Games too.
But it's so nice to see.
Yeah, it's really nice to see. But here's the thing. I feel like when it comes to Charlotte and Jay, I'm gonna be honest with like this Roman, Seth, Punk stuff. One of them is not gonna get the main event.
Yeah.
Who do you think is not going to get the main event, though? Because I think Jay and Gunther don't really need the main event.
No.
Like, they could do, like, the CM Punk Drew McIntyre spot from last year, where they went on first at night 2, and it was still a big moment.
Yeah. I don't think Jay and Gunther need it. I definitely think they'll tear it up. Whatever spot they get, they're going to tear it up.
I think
it's going to be good.
We need a women's main event.
Oh, yeah.
It's been way too long since we had one, and Tiffany and Flair are the best spot for that. Or
would be good.
Or whatever Rhea's doing, which I speculate could still be like her, Bianca, and Io in a triple threat match.
Either women's title match.
Yeah.
Is a good main event. I'm gonna be way more biased towards Rhea. But
because you hate the Queen.
I'm just.
Did you see my message I sent you after you?
Yes, I saw your message.
Bow to the Queen, pussy.
I'm not a big Charlotte Flair fan.
I will always be a Charlotte Flair fan. To me, like the top 3, it always goes Becky, the man.
Oh yeah.
It goes Charlotte, and then it goes Asuka, who hopefully is okay. Have you seen that? Apparently, Asuka has a stalker.
Ooh.
And she was kind of like frantic posting on Twitter about it, like obviously.
Yeah.
And people were speculating on the first tweet, like what it was about, but then it became super obvious. But apparently WWE and like the company that owns them has put measures to protect her.
Good.
Yeah, I was like, no, better not hurt my queen too. Like, yeah, Asuka, Charlotte, Becky, those are like 3 women's wrestlers where I'm just like, they could do no wrong, in my opinion.
Don't get me wrong. I may not be a big fan,
but you get it.
But I get it because my God, has she done a lot for women's wrestling?
She's done a lot. She's really good in the ring. Like I understand that. Like I always understand the criticism of like she wins too much, but I never try to put that on her because like it's the same thing with Brock. It's the same thing with Cena for a long time.
Yeah, it's the booking.
Yeah, it's the booking. And I think the only reason why people still have this view of Charlotte Flair is because she just has not been a part of this Triple H reign for a long time.
Yeah, she hasn't been there.
She's been very in and out. I'll tell you
what, we're gonna see what happens, right? Yeah. Like maybe my opinion of Charlotte Flair will change.
We'll see. They could. I don't know if they do pull like a WrestleMania 36 where she beats Tiffany, then I will definitely be in the camp of like this was stupid.
Yeah,
like I'm not. Like this is definitely the moment where it's just like Charlotte can't win this. Tiffany needs to go over.
Yeah, they need to not give it to Charlotte.
But I will
Charlotte does not need the win.
I think Charlotte winning this is also great for the women's division as a whole because like how many people have really been built up?
Yeah.
She is kind of the final boss of the women's division for a long time too.
She really is.
Because Becky has always been like she's always helped it, but she's never been the final one.
Yeah, she tried, and don't get me wrong, she became a force to be reckoned with for
when she was big time Bex.
Yeah,
I loved that era.
And it was so. Don't get me wrong,
she did such a great job as a heel, and with those ridiculous outfits. I wish that her and Seth at some point would have been like a partnership because that was when he was becoming like the drip god.
Yeah.
In those Kanye red boots.
But I just it's one of those things where like tried to become that final boss type, but
she's just too much of a Stone Cold. That's the thing.
Yeah, she was just so over.
Yeah.
That it just did not work.
Like Stone Cold can never be like a final boss character because like he's just a lot of people see him as like the average person.
Yeah.
Like The Rock is, he's a big Hollywood actor. He's an executive. He's always had like that nature of like, oh, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
But Stone Cold, he drinks a beer and stuns his boss. Like we all wish we could. But yeah, I don't know. Also with like the possibility of Cody and Cena, that's another thing where I'm just kind of like, I'm a little fearful that we're not going to get a women's main event.
Yeah.
But I could see them pushing the Punk Roman and Seth match not in the main event, and it could just be Cody and Cena for like the final night.
Yeah,
get the blondes out there. We'll have Tiffany and Charlotte in the first night, and then we'll have Cody, and then I don't know, John could dye his.
Yeah, John Cena can dye his hair blonde.
He's like, okay, you guys can't stop focusing on my bald spot, then fine, I'll just dye it blonde. How does that work?
Right.
Oh fuck! But even if I don't know. that really speculates on like if Cena's gonna win the Rumble. Like after this, I'm gonna try to like write down what I think WrestleMania is gonna be like. And there's so many directions you could go with this. Like, what if Orton returns? Where does he fit in that?
Yep.
Because like, are you gonna throw him in with Kevin and Sammy, or is he going after Cody? And if Cena doesn't win, who does he feud with? Like,
yeah,
I do think it's a smart idea going with like the Roman, Seth, and Punk feud though, because like Mania was always gonna be like a combination of those three anyways.
Yeah,
because like
definitely.
It was either Roman. Like now that we know that there's no possibility that Rock is gonna be in Mania, it was either gonna be like, okay, it's gonna be like Rock versus Punk probably. No, Roman versus Punk. But then where does Seth fit in if he's not going after a world title?
Yeah.
Putting him with Punk and Roman still fits.
Either that or they're gonna do like Punk and Roman, and then like Seth's gonna interfere and get Punk the win.
I don't know. I feel like, but that's the thing is that he would have to be in another match. I feel like you had to put him in somewhere else.
Yeah.
You can't just be a running.
Yeah.
You can't be a right bumper.
Yeah. It's that one's definitely a tough.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a weirder position than we were last year. Like when it came down to last year with the Rock's involvement, it was a little bit of like, where is WrestleMania 40 gonna go? But now with this one, it's just like we have no idea where 41 is gonna go, and we especially don't because Jay won the Rumble.
Yeah.
Like no, there's no way there's any like set in stone plans. Maybe there are, but it doesn't feel like that. And I kind of am really excited for that. Like I'm really excited for the fact that I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I just hope I'm not let down. That's the only thing, is that it does cause a little bit of anxiety of being like, when we don't know what the plan is, we could be let down.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Because there's a lot more speculation to be had.
I think I just have too much faith in Triple H because he's done really good with this sort of stuff.
Yeah, and like people build up this notion of like, oh, this is how things are gonna go, and then it doesn't go the way they expected.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too of like fantasy booking is something that I try to stay away from, because like when you apply that to the current product and not allow it to play out, you're just ruining it for yourself because it doesn't fit into your narrative. The same thing with like how I feel like some people are too into like certain comic book characters.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, this character wouldn't like do exactly this or exactly that. Like you're not letting the story play out. You're just like trying to force this into what you think this character or story should be.
Yeah, they're not. They're getting their notion that they think they know what's gonna happen.
Like I saw people's complaints of like of people who like don't really care for Court of Owls, the Batman storyline with Scott Snyder, of being like, oh no, Batman's smart enough to know that the Court of Owls should have existed. And I was like, but that's not what the story is about. It's about like not being unable to recognize something that you should be extremely familiar with, like his city.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the story interesting. And that's what I like about the Royal Rumble, is like anybody could win. And they pick someone who is on the level of everyone else who showed up.
Yep. They pick somebody who was on the same level, but not yet achieved like everybody else.
He's just missing that one thing, and that one thing is a world title. And like Roman doesn't need another world title. He doesn't need another world title shot.
No.
Seth only really needs it in the fact, like, I mean, he doesn't even need it. It's just good to have him there because he is like that work rate guy to Roman's draw. Punk only really needs it because like that's always been a lifelong dream of his, and it would complete his story of coming back. But there's so much other story potential you could do with him outside of that. So like it's, if you can get somebody else in there, and if Punk is willing to take that back seat, which I wouldn't be surprised if he's willing to. I mean, him and Jay seem to be pretty cool. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, yeah, I'll take it. He's on the rise. He's doing amazing. The crowds love him. And still, it's like, that Undertaker match he had at 29. Like, even if you're not the main event guy, people still see him as, like, the main attraction. Yeah. But, like, also, again, John Cena doesn't need the main event. No. It would just be cool to see it because it's his final year.
Yeah. Giving him that one last hurrah.
I mean, what else really needs to be talked about?
I don't
know. They played Pat McAfee's NFL highlights during the show for some reason. That's the thing. It's just like, okay, you could have had like another match in between these highlights.
Literally.
But overall, what did you think of the Rumble?
I thought it was pretty good. I was pretty pleased.
I don't feel like there was really like, there were definitely dull moments, like Logan Paul coming out But overall, like, it was fun. It was probably like the best time I've had watching a pay-per-view in a long time.
Yeah, I was having a blast.
Like, I was like WrestleMania 40, you know, Cody versus Roman levels of excited for a good portion of the show.
I was literally hanging out with my friend playing playing D&D. I was so more enveloped in watching the Rumble.
They're just like, Taylor, time. It's your turn. He's just like, okay, my character does a stunner. Okay, yeah. He does a stunner.
Stunner.
Just like roll for damage. Roll for concussion.
Roll for concussion.
For stunness.
I pin him for the belt.
Hmm?
I pin him for the belt.
You pinned it for the belt. It's just like, okay, count for the 3 count. Like, roll for the 3 count. I got a 16. What does that mean?
Yeah, I was more enveloped in what was going on in the Rumble and everything than I was paying attention to stuff with my friend. Oh
my god, it was just like, I can see why. I mean, they really made you feel like excited for it. There was definitely like the dull moments, but like nothing compared to the highs.
Dude, literally, like overall, it was a great Rumble. There were so many good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I might have to let you go. I had food that showed up a little over half an hour ago.
Yeah.
So I might need to go get that, and I just need something to eat.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
All right. See ya.
Later.
So yeah, that was me talking to my buddy about the Royal Rumble. That was our reactions. I'm definitely gonna need to get my food soon. So yeah, this is what I hope to do. Probably should have talked to him about this, but this is you know, this is a little different from my other reactions, my other, you know, reviews in a way. I hope to kind of do this a little bit more if I can get him to watch the other pay-per-views. Like, if he ends up watching a pay-per-view, I'd like to do this. Hopefully I can talk to him about doing this more. I enjoyed doing this a lot, just like a free expression, you know, just shooting the shit. Probably won't really edit this one out. Like, probably won't edit this really that much, just so it can be like, you know, more of a conversation. But I know he doesn't watch all of them, so I probably will still go back to like the regular ones, but like maybe like the big ones like Mania and stuff like that. I'd like to bring him back on. I really enjoyed doing this, so hopefully he would be down to do this a little bit more. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna leave for today. I'm gonna go get my food, and I'll see y'all